when Austin starts yelling at us.
When you push the button, man.
There you go.
You know what? I was thinking we started when the button starts pushing and the music starts playing.
I liked it. And we shockingly are back. Somehow we made it back.
I need to watch
And we
that show
survived
again.
the Olympics, thank God. And we talked a little bit about the closing of the Olympics, but we didn't really talk about the process of what's going on and then moving it to LA and just the handoff of the flag. We just kind of lost.
I don't care about that.
Well, they usually have some like exciting handoff, like creative handoff. What did they do?
That's the Tom Cruise thing.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it
really.
was.
No,
He was taking the flag, and he next thing you know, he's standing by the Hollywood sign, and they used the two O's in Hollywood and made them into the Olympic circles.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was another part of it. They had the guy from France. He was standing there. He had the flag, and he was like fucking swinging it around like he was some weirdo. And then the bitch from L.A., that black bitch, was she a mayor? Oh, I'm sorry. White mayor, bitch? Is that better? The female bitch?
So the key is...
I mean, what the hell?
The key is bitch. The L.A. mayor.
Sick of that.
L.A. mayor. Yes.
Yeah, that fucking stupid fucking... Second half of the podcast.
Yeah, maybe we should start over.
It's August 14th. Thank you, Mr. Producer, for chiming in and getting us all set today. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
That stupid fucking...
You're so pleasant. You were. Never mind.
I mean, look, whatever.
I don't know. I actually don't know much about the mayor of L.A.
I'm bitter about California. I'm sad. It saddens me to know that the next Olympics is going to be in some podunk woke environment,
Well,
like
it's not
fucking
podunk,
LA.
but it's woke.
Definitely not podunk.
It's podunk from the fact that they've got an app that you can pull up on your phone to find out where people are shitting.
That's San Francisco.
Yeah, that's not L.A.?
No.
I don't think so.
So the last time they were in L.A., was that 84?
84.
That was Mary Lee Retton. And
We talked about that.
Carl Lewis.
We just talked about that, yeah.
I had great memories of that Olympics.
You were infatuated with Mary Lou Retton.
I was totally infatuated with Mary Lou
Retton.
Retton.
Boner over Mary Lou.
I think it was 3 weeks.
Did you have the posters on the wall?
So what does Mary Lou Retton
bathroom?
look like? I don't remember what she looked like.
Mary Lou Retton with the Mary Lou Retton haircut?
So
she had the little bob cut, didn't she?
Yeah,
she won all around gold.
Yeah, she was a star.
She was.
I never was attracted to her, though.
Oh, yeah, there she is.
I was when she was, young, and I was young. I thought maybe she'd, call me, but she didn't.
No.
How old is she there when she could beat it?
Oh, she was so cute.
16.
She's 12, Paul.
And I was 12.
Idiot. Well, you're not 12 now. You're like, she's cute.
I'm just channeling my 12-year-old.
I have no idea how old she is.
She looks like one of the characters or
from
the
Facts of
people
Life.
from the Meatballs summer camp movie that came out.
Don't.
Christy, she looked kind of like Christy McNichols kind of.
She was beautiful.
Well, who's this lady with the humongous legs down there? Good Lord.
Is that somebody making fun of her?
No,
Oh my gosh.
Olympic gymnast
LSU.
Mary Lou Retton cheers on daughter. No, that's not her. It can't be. That's a joke.
Thunder
Come
thighs.
on.
All right, let's fuck this. So,
all right, moving on.
So who's the gymnast who did all the tampon commercials?
Tampon Tim?
It could be.
I thought that was the Greg Louganis, wasn't it?
Is it Mitch Gaylord?
No.
That was a low blow. I'm sorry. I retract.
It was Kathy Rigby.
Where the fuck do you pull this shit from?
Kathy Rigby.
Sure
she
wasn't
had blonde hair.
Wasn't it Bruce Jenner?
Bruce Jenner.
He puts a frozen ketchup pot up.
Well, it'd be appropriate now. It's Kathleen, whatever.
Kathleen Jenner.
What's her name?
Now he takes those ketchup packets
what
and
is
he
her
puts it in
name
his
now?
butt and he clenches his butt cheeks together and
just stop. That's
it squirts out.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
it's so weird.
But it's interesting. One thing I know. Let's get off of this Olympic thing. But one last thing. They the LA said that public transportation only, and they touted this. I guess it's a big green thing, right?
They're so stupid.
You can't drive your car there. It's going to be public transportation only.
Yeah,
I'd be curious if they can pull that off.
They probably can. It doesn't fucking matter. They say it's going to save energy and stuff, but it's not. It's fucking stupid.
Public transportation, does that include Uber?
They're going to be. Well,
I actually don't know. I think it was all like planes.
So all of it has to be like helicopters.
No, it was like trains, trains and buses.
So typically, what happens? And
Boats.
This is
No
what they
boats.
do in large events. Like they can do in some large events where they won't allow when you don't have that much public parking at some place. They allocate the public parking that's at the place for whatever. I'm going to call them VIPs, but they're not VIPs. They're just administrative people that need to get there for whatever reason, security, etc. But they have people park remote, and then they park
them
right
in.
and fly. They bust them in.
So basically, you still have to drive.
You have to drive from point
but you
A
have the
to
last
point B.
mile.
It's
You
like
got to park
park and
there,
ride.
and then they shuttle you from the parking lot.
It's
over
like
there.
park and
But the
ride
thing
or park
is,
and fly,
the Olympics
whatever.
are spread out. It's not centralized. I mean, you're going to have stuff at the track stuff will be at Pasadena, right? The Rose Bowl, probably, right?
Right. No, they're going to build a new $8 billion
A monorail.
new $8 billion arena.
No, that's
for
stupid.
this.
They don't need it out there.
I know that's what they do, though. It's crazy.
Well, hopefully they don't because they don't need it.
No,
But you have the facilities out there essentially now.
Well,
already.
that's what
They were there in 84. Just refurbished
California
them.
is looking for a handout. They need the handout because their economy sucks a big fat one.
and they have racked up so much debt.
And this is going to pour so much money into that.
They're like the third ranked economy in the world.
Jesus.
Third largest, I think.
Okay, are they counting the debt?
Well, I don't.
Because they have like a $2 trillion debt.
They said that. Well, it's like the third largest economy in the world.
Well, whatever.
Well, that's
Texas
gonna
isn't too
change.
far behind, though.
Right. Yeah, but we don't have that debt.
Correct.
So that doesn't. It's not equal. When one has huge
Correct.
debt and one doesn't.
Correct.
You know, but the sign of the times, though. I mean, because look, California is going downhill, and you know what? There are things going downhill all around us.
They're moving out. All the businesses are moving out.
Businesses
Yeah,
are
they
going
are.
out. They got a Twin Peaks up the street that they're closing down. Hey, we're going out. We're dying. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
and that
there's
was-
a lot of businesses.
I want to know the background behind that.
Well, because they were always busy. Not that I went in there a lot, but they were always busy when I went.
Walk us
See,
through
I'm
this,
not sure
Jeff.
that's economy related. I think that's somebody who owns that shopping center. I would rather just not have them there.
They probably jacked
don't
up their rent.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And they're kind
Like,
of forcing
you're-
them out.
You're right.
Oh, yeah,
You're
they're probably
right
going
on
to build
Preston
a
Road.
Patel Supermart there.
Or they're
Right.
We're on
Yeah.
Preston Road, so
Thank
they're
you.
like,
Would you like a slushie?
we can raise our rent
Is that racist?
50% or 100% on you. Is what it is.
I don't think that is. I think making accents are kind of fun. It's not racist to do accents.
Oh,
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Am I racist by doing an accent like that?
I'm just-
Or is it like to do it like that?
I don't know what the fuck that was,
I
but
don't know.
I don't either. I think it was Somalian.
But you look when Jeff and I were driving, doing our excursion for lunch and going to Home Depot and picking up some stuff. We were driving by some different places, and we're talking like, oh, that's probably going to be some Indian thing, you know. And it does sound kind of racist when we're talking about it, but at the same time, the reality of it is that it's going to be,
Yeah.
you know, and it's kind of, it may be fucked up, but I don't give a fuck. Suck my ass. I don't care. I don't want it there.
Suck your ass?
I don't want it there. I don't want another
Indian
themed or influenced market center there. We have them everywhere.
Yeah, so the reality
Why
is
it that
right.
we can't have these folks that are coming to this country
Right.
integrate and be part of the country
and drink beer and eat wings.
Look, I mean, it's look. I'm okay.
I
but
think
it's
that's
just like
eventually. I think that's
they're
eventually going to
dominating.
happen.
They're
Right.
they're taking over, and that's the part that bothers me. And call me racist, I don't give a shit. But you know what? You know, call me good old fashioned hot dogs and apple pie. But God bless it, I don't necessarily need it that way. I want to have bratwurst. I want to have Chinese food. I want to have everything. But if you were to tally up the denominations of everything that we have around here,
Right.
slowly but surely, the Indian marts are populating higher than the general.
Right.
And that
because
bothers me.
Because they have money to spend and they are great investors.
Yeah, but why do they have the money to spend? They have the money to spend because the United States government gives them the, what is that shit called, Paul? You say it all the time. They give these to
well, I
the
think the
Indian
H-1B
business.
H-1B?
Yeah.
Well,
they're over here on an H-1B.
Well, I
visa,
think
yeah.
the wealthy families in India are the ones who move over here.
Oh, yeah. No. The only ones that move up generally. I mean, if you can qualify for an H-1B visa, you were cream of the crop over there. And you had family backing. family money backing.
But once you get here in the United States,
that's a generalization, but that is true.
But once you get here with that H-1B,
you're making bank.
Well, but the government's paying you.
No.
Yes, they give you an automatic. You get like loans, with low interest rates.
Maybe that, but they don't pay you.
There are benefits. They don't pay you, but they give you certain tax breaks.
Maybe
they coddle you. And that's what bothers me is that, these people are coming over, and I don't care who it is. It could be Indians.
From any country, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter who that's getting the program, but it frustrates me because you have local businesses that can't make it.
Right.
And we're kind of like, what the fuck? So these companies can come over, they get a break, they get all these different tax breaks, but I can't get one. I was born and raised here, and I don't get a fucking break. It's frustrating.
I hear what you're saying. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if they get better breaks than
they do.
I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know that. But what I do know is that even if they don't get breaks, they're very savvy, and I'm talking about, like you said, it doesn't matter. Indian, Chinese, Japanese, wealthy people from outside the country are coming into the country. They're very savvy with investing.
Well, they're wealthy for a reason.
They're wealthy for a reason, and they're coming in and they're changing. Right? I don't know if this is the case, but maybe a Chinese company, basically bought the place where Twin Peaks is right now,
right?
And they jacked up the rent for the sole purpose of pushing them out.
Right.
And so they're going to turn and they're going to turn that into something that caters.
That's kind of what they proposed that's happened to Tailgaters.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Exactly.
The guy that was at Tailgaters, I'm not going to mention his name, but the guy that was working there was like, yeah, what's going on is that they're owned by some Indians, and they want, in a quote, they want Indian-owned businesses in these buildings.
Right.
And you know what? And that's right by Home Depot, and right over there, there's a whole... Look, again, I don't care... But it's just like you're supposed to integrate.
But what they're doing is they're catering to a massive influx to a clientele that they know how to serve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this area of Frisco is
a massive influx.
Massive influx of Indian people. So that's the population that's moving here.
And they're catering to it, and they know how to. They know what they want, and they know what they do back home.
Well, I think the kids at the school that our kids went to, the Indians are now the majority.
Yes. And the neighborhood that feeds into those schools is over 95% Indian.
That's a big difference.
When you're looking at those kind of numbers, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I almost feel kind of like, well, shit, man. Imagine if they're there for a generation and 2 generations, well, technically they have integrated. So I
think once you get past
that's what happens.
You get past the initial parents or the grandparents moved over here. The students,
yes,
100% Americanized.
Yes,
100%.
And they're not. So I've had many conversations. All right. So I have lots of Indian friends. I tell you about my Indian group that we go out and we drink. Right, it's my drinking group, and they talk about nice. They talk about
what is the name of that nasty ass rum?
Old Monk. It's actually pretty good.
Are they upset that their kids aren't embracing the culture? Or?
They're not upset, but they have. If you think about it, they have generational pressure, right? So this is what they've done and that's why they're successful. Education is top of the top priority, right? And so they're like, I want to play tennis. Yeah, that's going to interfere with.
But all my friends are playing tennis.
Exactly. Oh, you're going to play basketball. Yeah, you're not going to play basketball. You're not going to be a professional basketball player, so you're not going to play basketball.
You're going to take 8 AP classes.
100%. Right? And then that's getting watered down. Totally getting watered down. The first kid they had is going to Harvard. The second kid they had, they can't get them to pass. I mean, this is extreme, but they can't get them to pass honors classes.
Right.
It's going down quickly.
Right.
Because the American culture is sports, friends, social life,
right?
And it's so you're right.
So,
and I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing. I'm just saying that's a reality.
Well,
thing.
I think what we're living through here in Frisco is the first wave of people moving here.
Yes,
you come back in 20 years,
it's going to be dramatically different.
Correct. You still may have a bunch of Indian people, but they're going to be like you and me.
Exactly right. As a matter of fact, on my son's basketball team. There were 2 Indian kids, and they were completely Americanized.
Oh, yeah.
And their like if they had a party, it was at their house, and the maybe the Indian parents were more progressive, and you're going to find that they're not all the same way, right? I mean,
Right.
we're making huge and horrible generalizations, but their parents let all the kids drink, and it was off the freaking hook. Their parties at their house
Right.
was ridiculous. So you're going to get a flavor of everything, but yes, it's watering down the intensity.
Well, I think that happens with every big immigrant group that comes over.
Right.
Just like when
Any immigrant
just like
group,
when
yes.
when the Irish first came over, you had huge communities of the Irish,
Yes.
and they were frowned upon
Oh, yeah.
because they were living like the Irish, right? And their culture and their
And there was a cultural expectation
correct,
and generational expectation.
correct, and there was Chinatown. You still have these Chinatowns in these old cities, New York, Chicago, Boston, San Francisco,
Right.
that the Chinese people would move to, and
Yes.
that still exists, but I don't think it's to the degree. Watch that. There's TV shows out there that represent this, and it's just like you see today, but it was just different groups of people back then.
Right.
Different types of immigrants. You had, like I said, the Irish. You had the Germans come over. You had the Chinese come over.
And guess what? They came over, and it was little China, little Germany,
Correct. We're just in little India right here.
Yeah, within the cities, within
Correct.
Chicago and New York. I mean, they all kind of banded with each other because they shared the same culture, and that wasn't a bad thing.
Right.
And then if
And then they integrated
somewhat
to the most.
But if the Chinese daughter was suddenly dating a Polish white guy,
that's true.
it was
Right.
an issue.
Right.
Like, it was an issue.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, hell, even my father-in-law tells me stories of in Pueblo, and we're talking about in the 60s. I mean, if the Italians, the Italian daughter dated a German, kid, I mean, it was a problem.
Really?
And they were told, the Italians were told, you can't come around here. We will shoot you. I mean, it was bad. It was
Right.
it was major segregation, not between whites and blacks, between Italians and Germans and Polish and
right.
whatevers. I mean, it was amazing. Anyway, but
Right. So this is nothing new that we're experiencing
this
here.
is normal.
It's just new to us.
It is. It is, and we are a major tech center.
Right. And I'm not a fan of it. Like Sean says, how many Indian grocery stores do we need?
Right.
I mean, there's
And the thing that's horrible is us complaining about it makes us sound racist. We are not. We
No.
are not racist. I swear to God, we are not racist. But we're allowed to have an issue with the landscape changing to something we don't recognize
right.
in our own town.
Right.
We're okay with having a problem with that, or just not being happy about it. Let me say that. Just not being happy about it.
I'll give you an example of like downtown McKinney, and downtown McKinney, they pride themselves on being eclectic and Western style. Hey, look, we want to represent a certain thing, so they won't allow like a Starbucks. They won't allow certain companies to open up within a certain range of downtown McKinney.
Nice.
And
Because they're trying to keep a certain vibe.
They want, yeah, exactly. So it's kind of the same spirit. It doesn't have anything to do with racism. I mean, it's just like, how many Chinese restaurants are you going to put in one spot? Okay, well,
right.
When a city manager,
we have quite a few here in Frisco. Chinese.
Well, whatever. Just it doesn't matter what it is. I'm just saying when you're a city manager and you're plotting out different. A venue of different restaurants, you want to have a variety, and it's fair to make it average. It's fair to make it there's a mean of different styles out there.
Sure.
That's kind of what I'm driving at.
A balance.
Yeah, a balance. There needs to be demand. So, demand. It's about demand.
That's what they're catering to. They're catering to demand.
But at the same time, they're kind of screwing the people that have been here forever.
I hear you. And Twin Peaks, it's a restaurant. Do we need restaurants closing?
Yeah, I'm not a look.
That was a joke.
I mean,
That was a joke.
Look, I do like looking at the women that work there.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
who wouldn't? Come on, get the fuck out of here. I mean, it's like, what is the other place that you and I went to one time after a football game? And
Wild pitch.
Wild pitch.
nah, we have gone there too, but with your father-in-law. But what is the other place? Tight ends.
Side boob.
Tight ends.
Tight
Oh,
ends.
tight ends.
Now, tight ends
Dude,
we
that's
went
a-
to.
that's a
Is that
one.
still open?
Yes, and it's a one and done for me. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
I mean, those.
That's over the top. That's
Are they
like
just
redneck heaven, redneck haven.
Is that just like they're wearing basic just thong and
Oh
underwear?
yeah, it was bad.
Well, they were basically almost naked. And,
Yeah.
and look, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I mean, I've been to strip clubs. It's not a big deal to me. I mean, I'm over that. So I mean,
Right.
but it's just not my bag. I don't want to go in there and look at it because first of all, I'm not spending money on those girls. I'm not going to be tipping them like that because they don't give a shit about me. There's nothing sincere. They're fake.
Everything's
That's
fake.
why
You know,
strip joints are.
Yeah,
there's-
we're not so
Yeah.
hard up that we have to sit there and oogle
Yeah, I'm not-
over a
There's a lot
bartender
of
that's
guys.
wearing
There's
nothing.
a lot of guys that are.
I
Yeah,
know.
well, and good for them, man.
and no disrespect to them either.
no,
I mean,
total disrespect for them because they're shallow. They're shallow and they're not real fucking men. Fuck them.
no disrespect. Total disrespect.
Seriously, I mean,
I hear
you can you can float that, but I'm not. I mean, because look, at the
I
end of the
understand what
day,
you're saying.
they're not respectful kind of guys. Because look,
The sad thing is they're lonely guys. That's what it
well,
is.
you know what?
And they think they're going to
Buy a
score with
fucking
some of
dog.
these girls, and they're not.
Correct.
They're not. Some of them, I guess, do.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
all these guys.
But that's not where you go.
no.
I mean, if you're lonely, that's not where you
all
go.
these ladies that work there get hit on so often,
Oh, no.
so frequently,
and they've got to be so nauseated.
yeah, it's just like I've heard it all.
well, you know what? I
Absolutely.
got an idea. Put some fucking clothes on.
Don't work. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
work there.
You know,
Don't work
it's
there.
like.
Right.
You know, and look, this is going to sound fucked up, but it's
Oh, boy.
it's kind of like these women that dress up a certain way and then they get raped. Yes, rape is bad, and I don't support this 100%. But I'm just saying you can't walk around with a thong and not expect guys to lust after you. You know,
I
and,
do agree with that.
You know, and it's like you can't do that. It's not right that because look, they start catcalling and then they take it to the next level and then they start plotting. Well, guess what? She walks by here every fucking Tuesday at 5:00 after she gets off work and she's got you know what? Stop walking around like that. And they're like, "Oh, it's my right. I can walk around any way you want." You know
you
what?
can.
It
You
is,
can.
but at the same time, you have some couth.
So
Read the
Well,
rules.
it's also
So-
like the ladies at the gym who wear basically a bra and these itty bitty shorts.
Yeah.
yes.
And
Don't look at me while
and
I'm
they
working
wonder,
out, you
Why are
son
you
of a
staring at
bitch.
me?
You're
Right,
such
why
a
are you staring at
perv.
me? Well, what are
because
you
I can
wearing?
see what religion you are.
And let me
That's why.
And let me broaden it. I mean, basically, what you're saying is there are decisions we can make to improve our safety, to improve our whatever. It's no different than walking across in New York City, walking across a crosswalk, buried in your phone, not looking at people that are going to run you over when they turn right or
Well,
left.
Right.
But how about this? What
Right?
if you're wearing
So-
like a gold watch with the Rolex?
There you go.
You're not gonna walk around in
Yes.
125th Street downtown New York
Yes.
with all this bling on.
There
It's like, what
are,
do they
there
call
are
bling?
all decisions we can make that minimize our risk or minimize just what I'm saying, minimize our risk
Correct.
to our general safety or
Right.
health, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what we eat, what we where we go, how we drive. I mean, whatever. I mean, and that you can lump that in. I mean, don't wear something provocative that is going to draw ridiculous attention to you from people that you don't want looking at you and don't want looking at you every day.
Well, the thing is,
That
they do want to be looked at.
Well, yeah, and
A
then
lot of, and then
there is a risk to that.
there is a lot of these ladies who dress like this want to be looked at,
Right.
but then when something does go a little bit sideways, they're like, "Well, how did that happen?" Well, I can tell you how it happened.
or don't make the
Or the
victim-
wrong person looks at them.
right. I know, and then they're shocked that somebody catcalled them.
Right. Oh,
Why are you treating me like that? I
Right.
mean, and it isn't right. What those guys are doing isn't right, in terms of catcalling and stuff like that. But at the same time,
I've never done that. I've never seen a beautiful
Oh.
woman. I do it to my wife all the time, but I've never seen just a random beautiful woman and hoot and holler at her.
You've
God,
never
no.
seen anybody do that?
You know why we wouldn't do that?
No, I've never
Because
done that.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do it.
we wouldn't do that because had parents that taught us that is ridiculous.
Right.
That's why.
Yeah, there's a certain type of person that will do that.
Yeah. Is Is that you, Sean?
No, I'm just saying it's not me. No, I don't get off on that, and I think it's rude.
I don't either.
I think it's rude. I think it's disrespectful. I think
Totally agree.
And look, the fact that I've got daughters, I wouldn't want the guys to do that. So it's kind of like, practice what you preach. Well, I've never done that, and like you said, Jeff, I do that with my wife, and that's different.
Oh, that's totally different. Because you're playing around. You're being funny. Like you're.
Well, no, I'm serious. I want
serious.
that. But I'm just.
I'll catcall her all the time.
Hey, baby, I know you've been working all day.
Doing? Yeah.
You want to take that off right now?
She's like, shut up and get out the damn room.
She's like, you want me to get my gun?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, now it's no. Look.
No, I understand. You came in hot on the conversation, and I totally agree with you because it is true. There's decisions we can make.
Yeah, it's called dress for success. And you make those choices.
But you don't have to wear an Amish outfit.
Yeah, we're not.
Like at the gym. There's women who wear the skimpiest things.
I know.
And you look at them.
It's like, what did you expect?
But there's other women
You're going to get attention.
But there's other women who are just as beautiful who are just wearing T-shirts and shorts.
Right.
That you're just like, you don't pay attention to them.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
you do, but you don't gawk.
Yeah, you don't gawk at them.
Yeah.
Right. Well, look at that cleavage.
A lot of these,
a
lot of these attacks are, I don't know. I was going to say ebonically charged, but I don't know if that's correct either. But there's a certain type of people. They're not brought up right. It's like, I don't get it. It's just like, how do you think that that's okay for you, a group of guys to sit there and catcall a woman?
That's been going on. That's been going on forever.
It has
the construction guys,
but it's cliche.
And you know what's crazy?
It is.
But in their minds, they're looking at somebody who's wearing a super tight skirt, high cut, wearing whatever, and they're thinking to themselves, they want to be catcalled. Otherwise, they wouldn't be wearing that.
Right.
That's how they justify it in their sick minds.
Maybe.
And the reality is, that's what happens when you dress like that.
I'd be afraid if I catcall, so she'd go over and smack the shit out of me.
Well, I would be.
If you're going to go to the gym to go work out,
that'd be my
you
wife.
got workout attire,
right?
If you're going to go to work at a business, you got to wear business attire, or what is it? Business casual. There's certain attire that you wear, and when you walk the walk, people expect you to talk the talk. And it's just like, you can't walk around like that. I can wear whatever I want. I should be able to be safe doing whatever I want. You know what? You're an idiot. And people that are telling you that that's okay, it's not okay, and they're wrong.
So should I walk around in a thong?
Jeff, I highly recommend you never walk around in a thong.
But that's the thing.
Can I back Sean on
Can
this?
I go to the
100%?
I'm going to back Sean on
this. What if man, maybe not me, but someone, a guy would start wearing these super tight things so his junk is just right out in the front. And, the same type of clothes.
That do that.
The same type of clothes that these girls wear. Skimpy ass little yoga shorts. And just it's like
big old camel toe and
just moose knuckling it all over the place. I mean, what would they think?
The top is barely holding the boobs in. You see half an areola.
I will tell you, early in my career, I used to wear my work shirts with no undershirt and probably a couple buttons lower than I should have.
Was this the net?
And
the half top,
dude, I was swarmed by every hot girl at the office. I was like, shit, man, I need to dress more modestly here.
Oh, in the 80s, I would have the pull-up shorts, super tight. My junk would be like packed to the right. I had the pull-up tall, go-fast striped socks on.
And you couldn't even focus at work.
Oh, dude, my dick be hanging out the bottom of the shorts.
Yeah, and they'd be like,
hey, what is that?
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
It's like that guy in the Olympics opening ceremony.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Totally, that's
no. I'm talking about
Sean,
the pole vaulter who lost because his junk hit the pole.
Oh, yes.
Lord, that poor dude.
Dude.
But Jeff pulled up a few memes for that poor guy.
Michelle Obama.
Well, that one, but there was one where they were doing these artistic impressions, and it was like a textile. It was
a painting.
It was a painting, and what they did is they had the top of the pole vaulter, and on the frame they stuck a bunch of paint right on the bottom of the frame, and it was resting on the frame. the frame. So they just gobbed on a bunch of paint.
You got to give so much credit.
Image.
You got to give so much credit to these creative guys that when something happens, there's like an immediate meme.
Yeah.
And some of them, I mean, they're good. They're really. I don't know if they're AI, but I mean, damn, I got to give them credit for.
How about that? The Haktua girl. I mean, she's still floating around.
She was on Bill Maher, apparently.
Dude, she's on everything.
I feel a little bit bad for her because it's turned to kind of more mocking than.
I don't think so. I think that she's got her no, I don't think they're mocking her. I mean, it is what it is. But you know what she did that I like is that she's kept her scruples about her.
Yeah, scruples. Scruples.
She's she's had several interviews and she's kept her head straight. She hasn't said a bunch of stupid shit.
Well, I think someone asked her, it may have been Bill Maher, goes, "Why you need to get into porn?" I don't know if it was him or not.
OnlyFans or something like that.
OnlyFans things, yeah.
Yeah, she has no desire to get into that stuff, and good for her. You know, in fact, she's made it quite clear.
Yeah, there was one article I was reading. Like,
Playboy magazine approach.
I was like, God.
You know,
the fact that she's talking about giving head and hawk two in on a whatever.
Well, she didn't.
She's
talk
a
about,
whore.
She didn't talk about giving head.
Well, that's what the implication was.
Well, but she didn't talk about it. All she said, you got to give it a hawk to a
spit on that thing.
Spit on that thing.
Which is a penis that she's giving head to.
Yeah, but it was like a one and done kind of thing.
I know.
She said the hawk to, and her friend said spit on that thing.
Yes, and they were just drinking and having fun, and it was an unscripted moment. They were just having fun, right?
But my point is
like us, man. We're throwing off the hip and saying crazy shit.
Except we're not making money. So
we're not making any money.
We don't have our 15 minutes of fame.
So if you guys want to donate to the Dudes Like Us podcast, hell, I'm looking for 30. You know what? I don't even care. Look. At this point, you know what? It's one of these Hail Marys. I'm gonna do it. I enjoy doing this.
Okay, here's the thing.
Like so fun.
We've been doing this for 4 years. We obviously don't do it for the money.
We enjoy it.
We do it because it's fun as shit, and because we know there are guys like us out there that have maybe shitty fucking jobs and a stressful life, and they're listening to us, and maybe 1 out of 100 find us funny, and we're just bullshitting, and they can relate to the shit that we're talking about and thinking about and reading about, and we're doing it for them.
Yeah, so the people that are listening,
that's why we're doing it.
We thank you very much. Check us out on the Instagram, Dudes Like Us podcast, or Dudes Like Us Woodcraft. Check us out on Facebook, it's the same thing. Hit that like button and follow us because we post stuff all the time. We go out, mostly Jeff and I, but we go out and
what the fuck?
We go out to different venues. It'd be nice. We've got a couple systems. I'm about to pull the trigger on getting 4 broadcast headset mics. I'm working out a deal.
Oh my God! Can we focus on video first?
Well, I mean, we got to. Well,
don't spend money on that. Spend money on video.
No, we're going to do both
because we're hot. Do you know how many listeners we pick up?
Oh, like 5.
We're smoking hot.
Yeah, we're up to like 5 listeners now.
No, but look, but the point is that it'd be nice to be able to do a remote job somewhere and have an easy plug and go. And the 4 headsets I'm referring to. It's basically it's an all-in-one. That's all you need. We basically plug in the headsets, and we've got one little box, and that's it.
Console.
That's it. It's a little Rodecaster Pro 2. It's the top of the line. It's an impeccable piece of magic.
Well, speaking of one of the outings that Sean and I went on.
Oh,
yes.
We
went
to, the listeners are going to hear it firsthand, just like me. Now I'm going to hear it.
No, you saw plenty of pictures.
No, we put it on Instagram, so everyone's aware.
Well, you're gallivanting with your tier 1s.
Yeah.
On the lake.
The
hovercraft.
On the yacht. The hovercraft yacht.
Oh, my God.
Hovercraft yacht.
Yes.
It was a pontoon boat, not a hovercraft.
We for those folks out there, how do you want to start this? Because do we want to mention the year?
The year? 2024?
So, all right, look, fuck it, I'll say it. So, I'm assuming that's what you were driving at, right? Oh, I'll go there. Okay. So, look, we have Chuck. Shout out to Chuck. Chuck gave us a lead to go check out a distillery out in Lowry Crossing, Texas, 1845 Distillery.
I've heard of it.
And yeah, I think we've heard of it. Shout out to June and Bob and Ben and Miguel. And we went out there. We were like this. We fell in love with the place. It's kind of quaint. It's kind of cool. And their whiskey bourbons are fantastic,
amazing.
Yeah, they're very nice people.
And they're wonderful people.
Yeah, very nice,
wonderful.
People.
So we were doing what we do, with our CNC machine. We try to drum up a few items to sell out there just to have some fun. Laser a few cutting boards and little magnets and stuff.
Yeah, and give them something to bring in merchandising, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And the goal was ultimately to make some money on this, but to start off with this is swag. This is stuff that we want to try to push out and make people happy.
Sure.
So they recognized that that's what we were doing, and so we kind of developed a relationship with them, and they recognized that we've got this laser machine, and they asked us to do a few bourbon barrel lids with their iconic double gold awards on them. So we're going to do that.
And they have won lots of awards. Amazing.
They really have. I mean, 1845 Distilling Company in Lowry Crossing, Texas. Highly recommended you check out. Go to Total Wine right now because they're across the nation. I don't know how.
Specs.
Specs, Liquor King. They're in all kinds of liquor
They're not
stores.
nationwide. They're regional. It's a small operation.
They're in Texas.
Yeah, they're a small operation.
They're in Texas. So Texas is, they're running. Look, Texas offers a lot of whiskey bourbons. I mean, we're popping up distilleries everywhere.
They are,
yeah, we need to do more. We went to Iron Root. That was nice. We need to do more of that.
It's a super competition between Kentucky and.
Wow. I wouldn't say there's really any competition, but it's.
Oh, come on.
Texas is becoming.
We're becoming competitive to what they got going on there.
We're growing. We're growing.
We got Pinhook. We've got Still Austin. Rebecca Creek. We got Iron Root.
Garrison.
Big Stick.
A big shtick, which is it tasted good.
It's different. Well, it's like Oak and Eden.
It is like Oak and Eden, and
no, which is also local.
At the end of the day, yes, it is. At the end of the day, if it tastes good, that's all that matters.
Yes.
A big stick is just kind of a concept.
We need to learn more about them.
We do.
They're brand new. I think they've just come out.
We're supposed to be talking to some dude named Big Mike.
Yeah.
Big Mike, and he was going to be. They were supposed to be reaching out on me on Monday. They did not do that.
Oh, stop.
Hey, man, look, marketing guy said do it, follow through, do what you say
They
you're
had an
gonna do.
opportunity to be on Dudes Like Us podcast, and they missed out.
No, I think they're still going to do it. They're based out of
reach.
Houston right now in, Big Stick Bourbon. We did a little sample of them. It wasn't bad.
Good.
It was not bad at all.
But Lori is she's super sweet, and she's a good representative for the company. Well, hopefully they start to get some steam.
So part of this relationship with 1845 is, we've been kind of going back and forth because, we're doing the podcast. We talk about it a lot. We try to endorse them as much as we can because we like it. In fact,
but it's deserving. It's deserving.
It is deserving. And it's our bourbon that we're trying tonight.
We are.
Yeah, so we're sampling the PreEmption 1845 Distilling Company, the finest quality. It's a 4-grain straight bourbon whiskey. It's 4 grain single barrel, and this one has been soaking in the barrel for about 41 months, just shy of 4 years. It's at 117 proof.
Nice.
And that doesn't sound like a long time, but in Texas, to me, that's probably equivalent to 7-8 in Kentucky.
Oh yeah, at least that.
Right?
Because the color on this is nice and dark.
It's a beautiful hue.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a nice golden hue, and the 4 grain just brings up a plethora of flavors. You got the cliche, vanilla, molasses, cinnamon. They do a char 2, char 3, right?
Char 3.
Yes.
Is it char 3?
Yep.
And with the char 3, it brings out all those constants. But you know what? I challenge people. Look,
Iron Root does a char 1.
Yeah, they do. And good for them.
Still
but
good.
The thing about the 1845, and this is not a proven fact, and they're not saying this isn't a staple. There's nowhere in the text anywhere that says that this is true. But one of the conversations we had with Bob is that some people have said, well, maybe Lowry Crossing sits because they've got a bunch of pecan trees that's around the
There used to be a pecan
place.
farm
on the property.
Yeah, there's tons of pecan, and it sits, even though it's higher in elevation, it sits low, as far as elevation wise go.
Sure.
So there's a lot of standing water sometimes, but what that low elevation does when you have all those pecan trees around you is it creates an orgasmic fog.
Here we go.
No.
I think you meant organic.
No, well, whatever. I'm just saying when the trees start to organically frolic with each other,
have sex.
Well, I'm just saying,
it is orgasmic.
There's an air of organics that are airborne, and they're insinuating that the tree pheromones or organics are infusing with the barrel and creating this complementary taste. I don't know if that's true.
So there's some tree fucking barrel going on.
I just think there's some pecan jizz in this at the end of the day.
There's some tree porn. It's like a tree barrel orgy going on.
I think they should try to capture all
Sean's
those
trying
pecans.
to say.
No, look, all bullshit put aside.
The truth is, environment matters.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely.
And it absolutely
so I don't know.
It contributes. So
and the guy, and Bob Pettit,
I mean, certainly Bob thinks so.
Well, he said that it's likely that it has some influence over the taste of it.
I believe
and it's extremely unique. There's a reason why they're winning so many double oaks.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It is what it is, and hats off to them because they have a winning product.
They do.
And look, and they even said from the beginning, because we've been to several of the tour visits. It's all luck. I mean, you walk into this thing and you create these recipes on how to do it.
You go with a mash bill.
You have no idea. You're kind of shooting from the hip. What works, what doesn't work.
And then 3-4 years later is when you find out if you're successful.
100%.
This is horrible. This is great. You never know.
Because when you're trying the mash bill, when it's white dog, like, when it comes off the still.
There's still taste to that.
There is taste to that, but you don't really know how it's gonna go. How it's gonna
age. But
there are so many factors.
I think when you taste a white dog, the professionals, you could probably go, all right, I think this is what's gonna happen to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
sure.
It's still a huge guessing game on all right, let me age this. Where do I age it? Within the rick house.
Yeah.
For how long?
Right.
And all that bullshit.
You know another thing I love about 1845 and other Texas distilleries is that they are passionate about it being Texas.
From Texas, right?
From Texas, meaning
June said something really cool that regarding like a competition between Kentucky and Texas.
Right.
I forget what she said exactly. Let's beat the hell out of Kentucky, or let's.
I mean, they're Texas pride, and they source everything local. Like Iron Root did, and so did 1845. I mean, they insist that everything,
Garrison
the grains, Garrison, they insist that it's all local.
Well, it's
produced.
It's what they call terroir, or however you say that.
Right.
It's the taste of the land.
Yes.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah, and they have ridiculous Texas pride. The 1845 does everything about their bottles and their labeling and their and the branding that they do. Has to do with Texas history.
Correct.
1845 is when Texas declared independence from Mexico.
December 27th or
exactly.
something like that.
Exactly. So they are they're passionately Texas, and I love that. So, but we need to talk a little bit more about it. So what's the proof of this?
117 proof.
117 proof. Yep. And this is, let's see.
Oh, he pulled up his thing on there. They got Miguel. They've got the story on the 1845 Distillery website. They've got June and Bob in the center.
There they are.
And Ben on the left. And I guess that's Miguel's wife and kids.
We met her.
That's Bob and June's daughter. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She looks a lot like June.
She does.
A lot.
What a good-looking family.
Yeah. I think the whole group is cool as hell.
They
Bob,
really are.
I was so excited to go there this past weekend. I know you were out of town. You were hovercrafting, but
he was gallivanting.
Yeah.
Gallivanting,
as usual.
With
elites. We went up to the 1845, and Bob walks out of the back room. He's all sweaty because he's doing these tours. It is fucking Texas.
God bless him for that. He doesn't have to do that.
You got Bob, the owner, the founder, the man, the myth, the legend. On top of being the brains behind the whole operation, Bob is also a retired civil engineer, land surveyor.
He's a civil engineer,
resident tour guide, and the current bourbon mayor of Lowry Crossing.
That's right.
Wow.
No, so a little bit background. He had a brewery.
A beer brewery.
Well, him
yes.
June.
And that's how they got into this. They did that for like 8 years, and then they sold it, and then he had a desire to let's try bourbon.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned. I mean, they just bought some land in Lowry Crossing, and they made it happen. It was great.
And hats off to him. And June she's an entrepreneur. She's a CPA. Well, I did not know that. The first lady of the Texas Bourbon, June, has been Bob's superwoman since high school, which is unheard of.
She's awesome.
Yeah. She plays an active role in all the facets of the business. And every time I call, you look up you go to the 1845 distillery in Lowry Crossing. What do we got going on there? Your little phone going off there, buddy?
No, I'm supposed to get with my wife. But that'll be later.
Oh.
I have an alarm for that.
Oh yeah, for 2 minutes. So she's like,
we have a 2-minute window. Let's go.
That's generous, but thank you.
June is super sweet. I mean, when you call up the 1845 distillery, you get June's cell phone. I don't know if you guys know that.
That's super cool.
Yeah, you could text the number. And so, and I'm kind of proudly I have it on my phone. It's like, June.
Look at you all name dropping. You're name dropping. You're like, she calls me on occasion when she wants to get some advice on how to sell
Jeff
their
and I
bourbon.
were up there this past week because they wanted us to do some projects for them, lasering some of the barrel lids with their gold things.
Their metals.
And they were like, hey, and I was like, hey, is there any way we could buy a couple bourbon barrels from you? They were like, yeah, you know what, we'll pull some aside. You can just pick them up. So we did that this past weekend.
And they're like, how many do you want? And you said 2.
Yes.
So we went down there, we loaded up the barrels, and look, we're freaking Jeff and I'm pitching a tent. I'm just like the whole time. And Ben, the manager of the operation, 6th generation Texas, you'll find Ben in the tasting room on the weekends sharing his knowledge of the spirits. He's also the manager of the operation, literally keeps up and the running a daily basis for handling all of our IT needs, inventory control from the house and back of the house. And
he's a cool
all
kid.
the while being the vintner for our sister brand, the Christian Bell Winery. So
he's
being
a cool
the vintner,
kid.
if you don't know what that is, he's a taster. He's the official taster. Oh, the cork taster. What do they call that?
Sommelier.
No.
What?
It was the cork soaker. Oh, he's the cork soaker.
Oh, cork soaker.
SNL. That was one of the funniest skits from SNL. We talked that in the first half, man.
The cork soaker.
Oh, my brother, he's such a good cork soaker. Yeah. That is not you, Ben. Anyway. And Miguel, the head distiller, married to Bob's daughter, originally from Victoria, Texas. Miguel comes from a family 8 generations deep
He's
in
a cowboy
Texas.
fan, though.
Oh,
Yeah, well, rightfully so.
I
God bless.
wish I had not read that.
He's worked in restaurants since he was old enough to work. He's used passion for cooking to earn a degree in hospitality management. When he's not living the bourbon life, he enjoys watching NASCAR and the Dallas Cowboys.
So I got to be honest.
I
I got to be honest. I thought at first I thought this 4 grain was really good, and now
shout out to you, Miguel.
I just think it's stale.
No,
I don't. Maybe it's not aged enough.
Well, not everybody.
Maybe Miguel came up with a really shitty mash bill. I don't know.
Maybe it needs to be a Tennessee whiskey.
Maybe.
No.
Or actually, Kentucky would be better.
Miguel, you done good.
Miguel, you fucked up, man. I got to be honest.
No.
I hope you're listening.
Well, based on Bob's, I don't think Miguel was the proprietor of the 4 grain. I think Miguel was kind of sitting on the coattails of some of the weeded stuff, because it's kind of a softer.
I think Bob was a standard rye bourbon.
He was standard rye, liked the more complicated things. Because
Miguel liked the wheat, and then they
it's just a little
decided,
bit
let's
easier.
do a 4 grain since we have everything.
Are we rating?
We took the barrels home, and Jeff and I scrubbed the shit out of them because
They were dusty.
They were dusty.
And oozing.
There was a lot of rust on the metal things, and we just took like a Brillo pad style scrubber to it and a garden hose, and we just kind of cleaned it up. Tried to delicately clean it. We didn't want to take the patina away, but we wanted it to look nice, and we didn't want it to come in and have some secret scorpion that was hiding in there pop out.
Scorpion.
Yeah, I don't know.
A pecan scorpion.
Well, the thing is when we walk in there, they didn't have one of those. What are they called? The little corks that stick in there? It's called
It's a bung.
A
bung hole.
It's called a bung.
A bung.
Yeah, it fits in the bung hole.
Goes to the bung hole.
Yeah, but that's like
There's multiple definitions of bung hole.
Well,
What are they?
One's an asshole.
They call that a bum hole.
That's a butthole.
Oh. Kind of like in that
My bum hole.
like in that movie Meet the Fockers.
Oh. Well, it's like Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, your bung hole.
God, that was really good.
Was it?
How many hours did you watch of that?
I don't watch that show.
I didn't
God.
really watch it either.
I watched a couple parts
That
of
was
it.
really, really good.
Yeah, what is the guy? Hey boys, but damn it, Bobby, what are you guys doing in my? They're whacking in my shed.
That is
He's King of the Hill.
Hank.
King of the Hill.
That's Hank Hill. Yes, that's good too.
Hey, my name is Hank Hill, and I am a proponent for propane gas.
All right, do Abu with the Simpsons.
Thank you. Come again. Would you like a slushie?
You racist pig.
Oh,
I set you up.
I am.
All right, let's move on.
No, so
This is good.
The barrels are very, very nice, and we greatly appreciate it. It's right here,
Absolutely.
right in the
yeah.
podcast. If you ever join us for podcast, you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, you'll see one. Mine, I've literally have drugged my nuts all over the whole thing.
God, God,
Just know that.
Really?
Kind of like Step Brothers, where you like drug his nuts all over the drum set.
Yep.
God, it's like a glory hole.
Did you
Are
get
saying
splinters?
so?
No,
Not a bung hole.
Not my balls.
Why you? You're shitting all over the good conversation we're having here.
Okay, I didn't put my balls over it. All right.
Just the tip?
God, just all right. Wow.
The bung hole was too small, so
Wow.
Yes.
it was just the tip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway,
Anyway, we
highly,
do
highly recommend the 1845. All of them.
Probably should
Highly.
delete that.
Seriously, I'm not sure. We've had one that we don't love. I mean, and maybe we sound like 1845
look,
zealots
I
because
will-
we know the family now and we've been there a bunch of times. But I will tell you, the accolades they're getting
Are warranted.
Or they're for a reason. Yeah.
well,
They're earned.
They're not our. They're not our doing. This is good shit. So if you can find 1845, I highly recommend it. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can get the single barrel, even better.
And if you can't find it, let me reach out to us on Instagram or Facebook. Pay us. I'll mail it to you.
They have 100 proof versions of all their bourbon as well.
And it's still great.
Yeah, it's
I
still
know
good.
we were like, oh my God, they put water in it. But it's good. Everything's good. All right.
I actually have a bottle, 2 bottles of 100 proof, which is kind of odd for me, but I do. Because I want the whole collection.
Mm-hmm.
I want them all.
No. I have a lot of them too.
You just bought another bottle this past weekend, right?
I did.
Of what? It's not a new one.
It was what is a variation of one of the other
Well,
ones.
it's a new weeded, but it's a higher proof and it's been aged longer.
What?
It's not a single barrel though.
I don't have that one.
Oh,
no, it's because you weren't there this
You
week.
weren't there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Well, you were hovercrafting.
Yeah.
I
With
was
your
on
ones.
a hovercraft with a
Yes.
chef and a 10.
So what are you thinking?
Sleeps 10 person.
I tell you what, I am look, okay, let's talk about this. So did we talk about the taste and the nose and the
I don't know. Paul
Jesus Christ?
chugged
Paul.
his.
What, you want a little bit more? Here, I'll pour just a little bit.
Probably shouldn't, but yeah, that's okay. Wow, what a soft pour.
I pick up lots of.
I'm kidding. God, oh. Shit.
I didn't pour a lot in there the second time either. You know, I
I'm
fill it up
fucked.
too much, and you're like, "Hey, you gave me too much, Sean. I
I'm
hate
fucked.
you. I'm gonna get in so much trouble." Glug 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 glug
Yeah.
glug glug glug.
Now
Really?
I'm gonna be on my 9:00 meeting. Hey guys, I think we should maybe.
Just like,
I'm sorry, I don't feel well, guys. I didn't podcast tonight, and Sean got me fucked up.
yeah, it's all my fault. Son of a bitch.
Yeesh.
It happens. It happens to the best of us, or the worst of
the
us.
That's
Four
never
grain,
happened to me.
I got to tell you, across the board, with
Throwing up on morning call.
with a typical
I've never done
4
that.
grain bourbons period, because Penelope puts out a 4 grain, which is incredible.
Those are
I
good.
think the 4 grain process, the concept itself, puts it kind of it adds a bunch of flavors in there, and I support that with anyone. I recommend all different bourbons come up with a style of 4 grain.
we like the 4 grains.
We
and
do.
I think the Penelope was the first 4 grain we had.
It was great.
Yeah.
And
it
we were
was
just
great.
like, this is really good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
and,
Agreed.
and they took the ball and ran with it. I am going to take another taste and then spit out. I'm going to tell you right now,
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
it's not low.
No.
It's not low? What does that mean?
I don't know, like a 3?
It's not low. The rating.
I'll give it an 8.3. 8.3.
What if we invent a 5 grain? Is there a 5th grain?
What do you want to add? Pepper?
Rice.
There's already rice.
Has
in there.
anybody? I know, but no one's done a 5th grain.
No, it's rice. It's the it's
I'm saying
distillate.
in the same bottle. 5 grain. Rye, wheat, corn, rice.
What not oats?
Yeah. Hold on. Stop. I'm not saying rice is bad. I'm thinking rice doesn't offer a lot. I'm thinking
Oh, it does.
potato.
As the 5th grain.
Yeah.
Seriously, we have never heard. I joke. I'm being a smartass, but have we heard of a 5th
Well, think
5
about
grain?
it. Well,
A 5 grain bourbon?
what are the concepts? What goes into bourbon? What's
Corn.
what's in the distillate? Let's start with the distillate.
51% corn
Yes.
is the
Uh-oh.
key.
Yeah. Well, to be a bourbon.
To be a bourbon.
So, but what goes into it though? So they make it out of corn. They
Yes.
make it out of barley, and they make it out of wheat
Yes.
or
and rye. And rye. No, not or rye. And rye. It's basically, it's always rye.
Well,
unless
not
it's
always. Unless
completely
it's a
wheated bourbon. Completely wheated
There's
bourbon.
wheated bourbon, and then you have a 4-grain.
Or 4-grain. Rye and wheat.
But I'm also starting to see that people are using oats.
So that's
I think
the part.
I think it'd be fantastic. I love oatmeal.
So does oats? Does you think it makes it a little bit sweeter?
I don't know. We don't have one that has oats in it.
Dude, I love oatmeal. I mean, I know it probably doesn't translate in the bourbon, but dude, I'm a big fan of oats.
I don't know what oats would do to a bourbon, but I know I'm starting to see just reading and videos.
I would love to taste one.
Yeah,
I would. So the fifth grain would be rice, oat. Anything else? Rice or oat? What would be the fifth grain?
Well, potato.
If we were to take MGP and start Dudes Like Us bourbon, and we were going to add a 5-grain.
What about alfalfa?
We were asparagus. Is that a grain? Seriously, if we were to do,
what other grains are out there?
that's what I'm saying.
Lentils. That's
God.
not a grain, is it? That's a pea or something.
You are
like that.
horrible at this game.
What's a grain? Quinoa.
I don't know, Mr. Producer. What grains are out there?
What's a grain?
A grain, an oat.
That's an oat.
Give us varieties of grain.
Barley.
Well, we know barley. That's already in there. No, yeah, it is, right? Barley's already in there. Oh,
wheat.
God. Wheat. All right, we already know wheat.
Yeah.
List of grains. There we go.
We're stupid. Oh, amaranth. We know that.
Oh, is that the one that you guys are giving me shit about? The Brazilian one?
No, that's
buckwheat.
That's amberana.
Oh, amberana. What are you stupid? What are you stupid?
So
you're an idiot.
So you got different kinds of wheat. Like Bulgar is wheat, isn't it? Quinoa. See,
that's a wheat. That's a grain. I mean,
yes. Then you have teff. Never heard of that.
Oh, we're gonna do teff. A teff bourbon.
Then triticale.
Okay, this is going bad.
That sounds like a penicillin.
How about sorghum?
Sorghum. Don't you make molasses?
They got millet. They got crossing wheat. They got quinoa, farro, buckwheat, barley, einkorn.
Let's do a 5-grain with sorghum.
What about
aged?
spelt?
Spelt.
Hold on. Let's do
millet.
A 5-grain with sorghum aged for 6 weeks.
How about freak? I want freaky. What's in your bourbon? Freaky.
And sorghum.
I mean,
seriously, would any of these things?
Well, frike is or farric is it's a cereal food made from a green durum wheat that is roasted and rubbed to create its flavor.
We're not doing. Oh, it says signature smoky flavor. Hold on, I'm in. Signature smoky flavor.
Yeah, but it's from North.
It's good for savory salads.
It is. Whatever. All right, so we're getting
second out of the podcast.
All right. Suck on it. We are going to invent the 5-grain bourbon.
I don't think we ever will, but if you want to come up with a concept, I'm thinking I would run with the freak or the ferric, the cereal food.
I want to do spelt.
Spelt. Spelt? I think it was a spelt.
I'm actually regretting this 5-grain concept.
It's a type of wheat.
Can we move on? Can we move on to something
12th
else?
century mystic Saint Hildegard is said to have written, "The spelt is the best of grains. It is rich and nourishing, and milder than other grains."
It's the member of the wheat family.
Stop it! You're giving me an erection.
Hybrid of
the way you read
that,
Sean.
And goat grass contains gluten. So
if someone is ill, boil some spelt.
Mix it with egg, and this will heal him in an instant.
It's healing.
It's a healing 5-grain bourbon.
It'd be a healthy bourbon.
Bingo.
If you use spelt.
Well, you know what?
If this podcast does not take off, we're doing a 5-grain with spelt.
This is going to be called spelt bourbon.
Spelt
I want the freakum.
Suck on it, spelt. Suck spelt.
Jeez,
I'm trying to come up with a name. I'm in creative mode right now.
That is not creative mode. That's something else kind of mode. Do you need a moment?
Spelt like.
Do you have to go pee, purge, or something?
I'm good. All right.
Well, look.
So
I'm not. But look, I hear what you're saying.
Yes.
And look, what was the name of that other bourbon that we sampled that we enjoyed? The one that Paul brought that tasted like toasted cinnamon crisp.
Oh, RD1.
That RD1.
It was good.
That was good.
I hated
That
it.
was
So
I hated it until I loved it.
until we told you what you tasted.
But Jeff, tell
Sort of.
what is it though? What is the
I'm being
different?
serious, sort of.
What
So
is the grain in there though?
it's in Amberana barrels.
Is that what it was?
So
the
it's not the
Amberana?
mash bill. It's
Oh,
the
okay.
barrel
the
it was aged
the
in.
Amberana barrels.
Yes.
Interesting. So the Amberana barrels gave it that
Dude,
cinnamon crunch taste. That is insane.
It brought in a crazy.
And there's several
taste.
bourbons and whiskeys that have used Amberana.
Well, maybe we ought to jump on like
The
using
Amberana
some
train?
sort of Texas. What is the
Mesquite.
what is the trees outside my house? The one of the pink flowers that falls off.
The crepe
myrtle.
myrtles?
Why don't we do a crepe
You want a crepe myrtle barrel?
I don't know if you can get enough wood out of a crepe
Yeah,
myrtle.
but here's the thing with the crepe myrtles, they have a lot of sap that's desirable for ants.
Yeah, but some plants kill people.
Well, I'm not saying
221 people die in Frisco, Texas after dudes like us released their crepe myrtle bourbon. You know what?
they took it to the Plano
awesome.
Festival of 2025 in 15.
Unbeknownst to the distillers, it is highly toxic. That's fucking awesome. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah,
You killed our listeners.
Oh.
Be the first ones to come, guys.
It has lots
You
of
get
sap.
free bourbon,
Yeah.
lots of sap, and lots of ants.
Well, how about pine trees?
They
you know?
cause death.
We'll call it death.
Yes.
Yeah, stick your finger in the dike. Let's just clog this hole up and move on.
God, what a nightmare.
All right,
But you know,
1845 distillery. Shout out to them. Seriously, shout
Yeah.
out overall to the 1845
They got a
distillery
good program.
concept. Lowry Crossing,
Good
Texas.
program.
Highly recommended. They're now selling it on the shelves in local distributors. Specs,
Correct.
Total Wine.
And that's just recent, man.
But
Yeah.
you can go
Within
out
the
there.
last 6 months.
But you can go out there and get a free tour and get a free sample of their 4 or 5 different bourbons they have there.
And the key is free, not because it's you want to save money, but because they want people to come out.
They have a gift shop. They have a place where you can buy 1845 products and and make it an overall experience. Walk away with the T-shirt.
Yeah,
And
Walk
wine.
away with the cutting board.
I guess no knock on Iron Root, but we had to pay for that.
Yeah,
I had to pay for that.
walk
I mean, and-
away with a cutting board.
Yeah,
Walk away with some coasters.
yeah.
That are lasered by dudes like us.
Some
there
Glen
you go.
Cairns.
Available at the 1845 distiller. We've got products right there. You want swag? You want the 1845 and dudes like us experience? Go visit the storeroom.
There
Pick
you
up
go.
our stuff.
Yes.
Say God bless.
We should
God bless.
probably. I wonder if we could make some their wine.
What do you want to do? You want to do like some?
I don't know what goes good with wine. You got some coasters. You could make some little wine charms.
Ooh.
Charms, like
Now we're
little
talking about jewelry
things that fit
making.
around the glass, so that you can
Correct.
identify your.
Yeah,
You know,
so my
you know,
glass has the penis
Shelley,
on it.
my wife, did bracelets back in the day.
I smell sex.
She
and
could
wine
totally do that.
Stuff. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I think we've exhausted this topic. I want to move on to something
Yeah, I started
else.
singing.
I would like to talk about the fantasy football draft that's coming
Hold
up
on,
in less than
fuck
2
faces.
weeks.
Did you guys rate this?
Do what?
I give it a 9.
You did not.
8.
Stop it. You didn't give it anything. What was your rating?
I'm going to give it an 8.
So you're doing it right now in 88.
8.
I'm giving this an 8.
Damn.
8
What
is
a-
great.
What
Right.
an asshole.
8 is great. Give us some chocolate cake.
Are you channeling Bill Cosby?
It kind of sounded like Fat Albert.
Welcome to the Pedophile Podcast.
He's not
No,
a
he was a
pedophile.
rapist.
Oh, he's not a pedophile.
rapist,
He's
yeah.
an adultophile.
Where's my shirt?
Allegedly. Was he convicted?
He convicted and
A
overturned.
little Spanish
Is he
fly.
back
He's a
in?
jello
He is-
pudding pop.
he's back in.
So he's not convicted.
He's back in the
anymore.
game. He's back into date raping women.
So now it's
No,
alleged
he's not out
rapist.
date raping anybody. He's
Dude.
blind as fuck. He's walking around in fucking
Yeah,
circles.
You know what? Is that maybe?
You know what? I don't care.
If you're an old man and you
No,
fucked
fuck
up in
that.
your whole life,
No. Look, what about these motherfuckers in the Nazi that were pulling out these generals that were malicious to these Jews, and yeah, they deserve to go to jail.
yeah, but some of these guys are like a grandpa
Turned
in
their life-
Ohio.
Yeah,
It's
well,
crazy, right? They're a grandpa in Ohio, and all the neighborhood kids are like I mean,
Does that exonerate him from his past?
Grandpapa was
it
great.
It doesn't. But it's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Well,
So
it is. He still needs to go to prison for
There's
the
a
rest of his
dynamic.
life.
I get it.
You got to pay the toll.
But he's 85 years old.
All right, so he spends a year or two in there.
I get it.
All right, but hold on. Let's hit pause.
I get it.
There is there is a certain time amount that you have to be prosecuted. So if I
On
Like
this,
a
there's
statute of-
a statute of limitations, right?
There is no statute of limitations on
Says
World
who?
War II war crimes.
Says who?
The
Hague.
The War Crime Convention.
The Geneva Convention.
The Hague.
The Hague.
The Hague. HAIGG.
They said there is no.
No, Hague, I believe.
Yeah, HAGUE. Yes,
That's Hague.
Hog.
It says Hague.
Hague Hog.
It says Hague.
Maybe
or
there's
spells
umlauts
Hague?
over the A.
The point is, there is no statute. Clearly, there is none
On
because
war
they are
crimes, there are no
still
statute of
they are
limitations.
still hunting people
Correct.
that haven't been found yet.
Well, there
And
was a lot of
now there were 90 something.
yeah. Well,
yeah.
look.
Or dead.
Those
dead.
Those fuckers, they deserve to pay the price.
Agreed.
And look, it doesn't stop there. There are fuckers that deserve to pay the price across the board for everything that they do. And these fuckers are the people coming into the United States right now, thanks to Kamala and the border bazaar down the south border coming up. And, and then she's running this new campaign with her new running mate, Tampon Tim, that fucking dish.
Balls, walls.
Yeah, balls, walls, Tampon Tim. Let's make sure this guy is.
Did you just compare both of them to Nazi?
No, what I did was a
to Nazi criminals?
Segue.
Oh, that was a segue.
Yeah.
Well, they
So-
compare us to Nazis.
And let me tell you something. With all due respect, Tim Walz, he speaks well, kind of like Obama. You can listen to him and say, that makes sense. Okay, I can see where there's some common ground here. But Tim Walz is, look, he's got some shadiness to him. I'm not happy with that pick, and it scares me.
If I'm Kamala Harris, I am super pissed off at my team for not vetting that motherfucker.
Well, how do we know that she didn't? Because
more than they did.
She is the most liberal. When she was a senator, she's the most progressive liberal.
She didn't. Are you telling me? So she didn't think that was going to be a problem?
No,
I think
like
she
all the
sees
things
it as.
So let's walk through them.
I think this was a Chinese influence.
So let's walk through them. What are the
China
problems
influence.
with Tim Walz? Go, Jeff.
Well,
you got the floor.
Well, wait.
Number one.
One thing is.
and we'll super on because I got like so many.
Well,
right?
one is it was the stolen valor thing.
Absolutely.
100%.
Walk us
Claim
through
to
it.
be
Walk us through it.
So
For the
stolen
people
valor
that
thing-
have been buried under a rock, tell us what's going on.
But hold on, stolen valor. Two things.
Go.
Oh, well, he claimed that he was a commanding sergeant major,
Yep.
which was false.
He's a sergeant major,
correct.
which is a huge difference.
It's a huge difference in the two. And then he also says that he was in war when in reality
He was carrying a weapon during war times.
No, he bailed on his unit before he got deployed.
That's number 3.
Oh, okay.
That's number
Sorry.
3.
Sorry.
So
sorry.
he claimed he was carrying. He's like, look, we're gonna outlaw these weapons
because
I carried when we were going to war.
That I carried when
It's
I
like,
was in
bitch, you
war.
never carried one in war, and
Right.
you know what? Before you outlaw any fucking weapon, you need to define what a weapon is. All right,
Yeah, he has no clue.
because there's automatic, there's semi-automatic. You can goddamn have a Colt 45 revolver, which is called a semi-automatic. So
Yes.
shut the front door. That's not the same thing.
Yep.
It's like, dude, you got people running around in England right now with fucking swords and knives, stabbing up fucking
Children.
What is that
Yes.
bitch's name? The dancer
Taylor Swift.
stabbing up Taylor Swift parties. What the fuck?
Right.
Get our shit together.
I know.
Well, over in England, have you seen where they are doing the social media police and they are arresting
They're arresting
people?
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They are arresting these people who retweet or repost something about a riot.
I have one word. Totalitarianism.
Yes. And did you see the letter that Elon Musk got from that European Union
about
chief or whatever?
Yeah, about his interview with Trump.
Yeah, that
They shut him down.
Yeah,
They hacked the fucking X.
Well, no, but Elon Musk was like, fuck you.
But they hacked
Fuck you.
fuck your face.
They
is what he
hacked
said.
the X broadcast. They weren't able to do the live stream.
When you say they, I'm not sure it was the European Union.
I don't know who it was.
But somebody
did.
hacked it.
Well,
They did
didn't
a
hack.
DDS is what it was.
Yes, they did the. Damn, I forgot the name of it. It's
Dick duty shit.
Dick duty shit. Yes, They dick duty shitted it.
Well, basically what it is,
Denial of service.
Yeah, it keeps trying to load.
Yes. So they made it seem like 20 million people.
The doctor of dental surgery.
They made it seem like 20 million people hit it at once. So it's denial of service. Now,
Data distribution service.
Yeah, you can just type. I know it's denial of service. So you can DOS. I'm sorry. Yeah, there you go.
DDoS.
DDoS. Yes, it is a. Oh boy.
Distributed denial of service.
Distributed denial of service. So it's basically mimicking that. Oh my God, 1 trillion people are hitting the site at once, and so the site goes, "Fuck, I can't handle all this," and it goes down.
Right.
That's what DDoS.
How long
is.
were they down?
You got to ask yourself, why are they so afraid to let him speak?
Because they're terrified that he's going to win.
And we can't let his message get out.
We can't.
And, you know what? And the
100%.
thing about it is I got to be honest. Trump is Trump. Okay, he is Trump. It's kind of like Sean is Sean. I'm Sean. I'm going to say it, and you guys are going to expect it. So if you walk me into an environment, you can anticipate that I'm going to act a certain level because I'm Sean. Trump is the same way. He's going to be Trump, but I got to hand it to him that he has tapered.
He's toned down
his tone. And
because he almost fucking died.
That
in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there's not that. That is probably ultimately the thing.
Dude, can you imagine?
But if you're going to be elected for president, you've got to tone down. The number one thing that people that don't like Trump is like, shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Okay. So what is he doing?
He's shutting the fuck up.
Okay. So
he's still calling Kamala an idiot. And
he is an idiot, though.
He is. I know, but fuck, man.
That doesn't go over well with a lot of people.
Take the high road.
We may not give a shit, but a lot of people do.
Okay, first off, all right, on my trip to Albuquerque, we had some serious heart-to-hearts.
Butt sex?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Serious heart-to-hearts about political conversations. And I got a first-hand view of people that believe the stuff that that the three of us, they were spewing stuff about Trump and spewing stuff in general about, how can he, this is the quote. So he got convicted of 34 felony counts, and you're honestly going to tell me that he's not guilty? And I'm like, fuck, man. How do you argue? How do you argue with somebody that doesn't see the establishment attack and the bullshit, New York law where they're trying to charge him?
You can't explain that to them either.
Yeah, you can't. Charging him.
You look like a loon
with a statute that wasn't even intended for what they were going to do, and I explained to them, and there was no victim to this crime. The banks that he was submitting paperwork to that said
he got all paid back in full.
Yeah, paid back in full, and they said they would do business with him again. There's no victim, and they were like, really? And they just I talked, and they were like, so 34 counts, 34 felony counts, and he's not guilty of any of them.
But
and I'm
hold
like,
on.
no, he's not.
Did you remind them that the Supreme Court overturned?
I sound like a fucking crazy person.
Did you remind them that the Supreme Court overturned over 2/3 of them?
No,
and that's the reason why they delayed the sentencing?
I get it, but this person I love and work with, I'm seeing their perspective, and I'm seeing how they...
Ignorant?
No, I'm seeing... Well, it depends on what they listen to. Right? I'm seeing how she was making very articulate points, and those articulate points were coming from CNN.
Well, hold on,
MSNBC.
But those articulate points are being
lies.
Indicted.
They're lies.
It's a fabrication.
No, he was convicted of a crime.
Yeah, he was convicted.
Yeah, but
Sean, you cannot deny that he was convicted of a crime because that bullshit fucking lawyer.
He was convicted of a crime, but the Supreme Court,
just
overruled it.
No, they didn't overrule it. No, they did not.
They did overrule it.
No, they did not.
They said what they said was that there are like of the 34, whatever it is, like 25 of them were conducted in the president's seat during the time of the office. So therefore, they're not going to apply.
That's totally different.
The Supreme Court didn't say that. What the Supreme Court said is when the immunity decision came down.
Correct.
Is what impacted those 25 or however many. And that's when they delayed it because they're like, shit,
we got to figure out
of these 34
That's
are
my
impacted.
point. Yeah. They're going to have to go back and they can't apply those. because of bullshit.
I get it. And guess what? That is never covered. The second part of this whole thing was never given to anybody in America.
Right. No, of course not. Because
Of course not.
Well, we're getting it, so it's out there.
But they don't watch the shit we watch.
But the thing is,
Or they don't watch anything at all.
but the thing is,
They just
the
listen to
viewership
CNN.
of CNN is small.
I'm just saying. I
There's
had
not
that.
hundreds of millions
I'm
of
just
people
saying,
It
watching
makes
CNN.
you wonder.
I'm just saying.
It makes you wonder if the viewership of CNN is so small. Is that the actual count of Democrats?
Guys, I'm just telling
I
you.
don't know.
That was a coworker that I cherished dearly, and they had
And
no.
they could support Joe Biden and Kamala.
Yes.
Well, I
The
had some
economy,
similar experiences
the
on
border.
Facebook
Yes.
They're
with
okay with it.
some different people that I know.
Multiple coworkers.
Yeah. Well,
And I sound like the crazy person. I sound like the Trump zealot who's irrational.
I would take it.
No, I don't back down. Trust me, I don't. But I'm listening to myself, and I'm like, how do I convince them?
You
I
can't.
can't. I can't.
no.
And Trump's not helping with his bullshit. Fucking Trump without the tweets. He's not fucking helping.
Well, he's back on
But
Twitter.
he's
I
getting
know.
better. But he's getting better.
Well, he is. But
He is.
All right, easy,
Doesn't matter.
easy. Dudes like us. It's August 14th. It's
It
the
is.
second half of the podcast.
Yes.
Got a little
We
heated there.
are on schedule for
what?
this
Got
coming
a little
week.
heated.
Are we going to be back on
Passionate.
Tuesday of
Not
next week?
heated, passionate. Yeah.
Passionate.
Are we
Better
going to be
word.
back on the regular Tuesday next week? Anybody going out of town?
No, I'll be here. I
We
think I can make time for this.
We may have Larry
Oh.
next week. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he does.
Larry.
Thank you, Mr. Producer, for staying on top of stuff. Dudes like us. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram _podcast. Dudes like us. I'm Sean.
Yo, I'm Paul.
You know, Joe.